Sonic Advance. Rip through 7 unique zones, which will remind you of Sonic's glorious old-school Genesis titles. Select one of 4 characters, select a stage, and knock yourselves out. But if you want to experience the most this game has to offer, then you better get those 7 Chaos Emeralds and see what happens. Of course, I'm not going to spoil it for you in this review. And the plot of the whole game is very simple. Eggman is just up to his old tricks again, with capturing animals and Sonic setting them free, and at the end of the stage there's a big capsule which Sonic can set a whole bunch of animals free from. But even though this isn't anything new as far as story or plot goes, it doesn't take away from the gameplay in any way. Trust me. So here are my thoughts on the gameplay. Although the characters are much slower to accelerate than they were in Sonic's Genesis titles, they can still pick up to Genesis speed and dash through loops, swing on bars, fly off ramps, and all that cool stuff you'd expect from a Sonic game. Each of the 4 characters have their own special abilities from Sonic's Genesis games, and even some abilities from the Sonic Adventure games too. Like Tails can swing his tail around to attack enemies, or Sonic can somersault or perform a slide across the ground, and all that good stuff. The only serious complaint that I have with the gameplay is the fact that Amy Rose, who of course is one of the playable characters, does not curl into a ball while jumping. Nor does she spin dash like the others do. This makes her more vulnerable to enemy attack, and this can get really annoying sometimes. The stages designs in this game are very good. The stages are big with multiple paths you can take, so going through the same stage twice may deliver a whole different experience the second time around. Each stage has 2 acts. The objective of the first act is simply to reach the goal sign at the end of the stage. On the second act, you must fight the boss at the end of the stage. The way you fight bosses is almost identical to the way you fight them in Sonic's Genesis titles. You're trapped inside of a relatively small area, then out of nowhere comes this super machine piloted by Eggman, and it starts to attack you. So you just figure out a way to dodge his attacks and counterattack, and after 8 hits you're done with the boss. Then after the boss sequence, you get to set all the little animals free from the capsule at the end, just like good old times, In some acts, you'll discover special springs, which can launch you into a special stage. In special stages, you can win a Chaos Emerald if you're skilled enough to collect the specified amount of rings before time is up. Here you can see that we need 120 rings in order to obtain the Chaos Emerald. Some of the extras in this game include time attack mode, in which you can make and break new records. There's the tiny Chao Garden, which can hold 1 Chao at a time, and you can either upload it to Sonic Adventure Deluxe or Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the Nintendo GameCube, or you can download Chao from Sonic Adventure Deluxe or from Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, download them into your Game Boy Advance. Then there's Versus mode, in which you can race against friends who have Sonic Advance. Okay, enough talk about the gameplay. I think we've pretty much talked about everything there. Let's get to the graphics. The graphics of this game are vivid, detailed, and pretty much remind me of Sonic's Genesis games. And the character sprites are fashioned after the Sonic Adventure character models, and these 2D sprites look really good. Their facial expressions and movements, they capture the attitude and spirit of a good Sonic game. Now, how about the sounds and the music? The sound effects are great. They're not like those high-pitched, cheesy Game Gear sounds. No, we're talking, Sega Genesis sound effects. The all that good stuff. Yeah, and these sounds add more of that Sonic game feel, which we're all looking for as Sonic fans or people who are new to Sonic, out. And as for the music, Sonic Team has done it again, folks. Another great soundtrack which fits each stage just perfectly. You'll even hear a few familiar tunes from Sonic's previous games, whether it be in a menu screen or even during the game. So just play the game and you'll see what I'm talking about. So, to wrap this all up, if you've enjoyed the previous Sonic titles, you're going to love this. You'll also love Sonic Advance 2 and 3, but I'll talk about that in some other review. Anyway, this is a great title for Sonic's Game Boy Advance debut, which will leave you satisfied. And that's where it all counts. I hope this review helped you in one way or another, or helped you decide whether you want this game or not. Either way, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.